So much discussion about a political center. What political center is my question? In a new USA Today Suffolk University poll, President Biden's approval is down to 38%, which looks pretty good compared to Vice President Kamala Harris, whose approval now stands at 28%. Democrats have just been reprimanded by voters, with Republican election victories happening all across the country. They happened on November 2nd, 2021 in areas you would not expect. It is not rocket science that Joe Biden and his party have lost touch with the voters who elected them. Large percentages of these Democrats did not vote for AOC and the Progressive Squad. And they're now showing this unhappiness that they have with Biden capitulating to this far left element in his party. Even respected Democrat strategist Mark Penn is weighing in, and he has a piece in the New York Times, but he's urging Biden to shake off these progressives and reconnect with the moderates in his party. He said that that's what Bill Clinton did. He reminded his readers, hey, this is how Bill Clinton saved his presidency in the mid-1990s. Former Louisiana Republican Governor Bobby Jindal, he's offering up similar messaging and advice in the Wall Street Journal op-ed. He said statesmanship, that means understanding the need to move to the middle. What middle? I have real problems with this advice. One, voters themselves are moving away from the middle. Two, the reality of culture and politics in our country is that things keep moving left. The only difference between when Republicans are in control and when Democrats are in control is how fast it happens that things move to the left. Yes, it's true that Bill Clinton saved his presidency by turning to the middle. But then, in 1994, according to Gallup, 25% of Democrats self-identified as liberal, 25% as conservative, and 48% as moderate. But today, even the same Gallup shows that the percentage of Democrats identifying as liberals has doubled to 51%. The percentage identifying as conservatives is half of what it was in 94 to 12%. And percentage identifying as moderate has dropped from 48% to 35%. What political center? At the same time, even Republicans, they're becoming more conservatives than where they were in 1994. In 94, 58% of Republicans identified as conservative. Today, it's 75%. Statesmanship and compromise are only realistic when most voters of both parties are generally on the same page regarding core values. But what happens when the common ground of core values is lost? What happens? And that's what's happened. I started writing several years ago, noting the similarities to what's happening today in our country to where things stood in the 1850s when the institution of slavery was tearing at the soul of our nation. Where is compromise about whether slavery should have been accepted or not in a country that is supposed to be about freedom? Some insisted yes, some insisted no, and everything exploded into a civil war. And what is happening today is similar. In a Pew Research 2020, November, same time last year, 80% of Biden voters and 77% of Trump voters agreed with this statement about voters from the other party. They said, in quotes, not only do we have different priorities when it comes to politics, but we fundamentally disagree about core American values, end quote. So culturally, there is no more room for compromise about differences of opinion regarding those accepting and those rejecting biblical values regarding marriage, family, private property than there was about slavery. The challenge today is not to find a middle that does not exist. The challenge today is for Americans to choose who we are and what kind of country do we want. A free country or not.